Growing up, there were numerous signs that I had ADHD, but I didn't get diagnosed till I was 20. My mom used to compare me to a worm whenever we would snuggle when I was real little. Apparently, I couldn't sit still. One day in the third grade, we were working on a workbook, and the teacher's going around the room and having everybody do one of the answers in the workbook, and I got bored with how slow they were moving, so I started to work ahead, filling in all the answers and trying to pay attention to where they were. That way, if I got called on, I could give the right answer for the one they were doing. And when I got called on, I read the one they had just done. And the teacher said, "You're not paying attention, you're in trouble." And I got punished for being smart. Essentially, that's what happened. I think it was in the 5th or 6th grade. I got in the habit of taking the folder that they sent home every week with my papers in it and going through it before I showed it to my mom. And I removed all the bad papers and just gave her the good ones. And at the end of the year, I had a drawer full of bad papers that I had to get rid of. But I did that because my mom would always tell me that I should get A's, and I never really believed her. I thought I was just average. In the 8th grade, I made a deal with myself. At church on Sunday, I would be guilt-free if I paid attention just enough to get part of the homily from the priest. Well, all it took was one really short homily, and that deal blew up in my face. So one day in college, I was in a chapel praying. And my faith is very important to me, and so when I was in that chapel praying and found myself struggling to focus, I really started to get down on myself for not being able to focus, and I felt like a fraud. And it was that day I decided I needed to make a change in my life. And I didn't know exactly what that was, but I knew that I couldn't focus. And I'd always kind of suspected that I might have ADHD, but it was really that moment where I said, okay, I think it's time to get this looked at. And so I went and got diagnosed.